My name is Aurora Sexton. My pronouns are she and her. Unless you buy me dinner, then you can call me whatever you want. And I am Colorado Drag Excellence. I have been doing drag most of my life at this point. I started doing drag at 13 years old here in Denver at a coffee house called Dad's, which used to be off Alameda. I think it's a hair salon now. But back then, a mere 5 years ago, there was nowhere for gay youth to congregate. So we kind of made our own spot and we started doing shows just for each other, and then the older, more established queens started to come and take notice of what we were doing and brought us into their fold and involved us in the imperial court, and that kind of snowballed for me into a career years later in my late teens at Trax 2000, and the rest, as they say, is drag herstory. Depends on the day. How would I describe my drag aesthetic? I like to keep people guessing. I can be everything from gross to glamorous, and I like keeping other people and myself, most of all, on my toes. My favorite part of what I do, aside from the glitz and the glamour and the excitement of being a showgirl, is the community that I get to be a part of. The community here in Denver is the same community that took in a homeless teenager many moons ago and gave me a drag family. It gave me a home. It gave me a sense of purpose that years later has evolved into such an incredibly astounding, beautiful, magical, worldwide community of drag artists and performers that I'm so thankful to be a part of. I am the mother of the House of Sexton, which was bestowed on me by my late mother, Kiera Sexton. And for those of you who don't know who Kiera was, please Google her, YouTube her. Kiera Sexton was a beautiful light in many of our lives, and I remember growing up, she was the most beautiful queen I'd ever seen. She could do backflips and splits and all sorts of crazy things, and then she'd come out in a gorgeous gown and just sweep the audience away. And our house is very large. She took in many kids over the course of her life, and she gave them love and she gave them family, and I miss her a lot. I know everyone in our house misses her very much, but you know, we carry on our legacy by how we carry ourselves every day, with dignity and pride and respect for our name and for our craft and for our community.
I was going to ask you, what's one of your favorite memories of a drag show, but could we talk about one of your favorite memories of one of her shows?
Oh, well, I can tell you both.
Yes, let's do that.
One of my favorite memories of a show that I did was with Cate Blanchett in New York City at the Stonewall Inn. A friend of mine was having a fundraiser for Newtown Action Alliance and asked her to be a part of it, and she said yes. He did her hair and makeup, so that's how we had the end. But I ended up getting to do her makeup that night and partying with her. I was sitting on the side of a bathtub in our tights talking about hair conditioner. I'm like, this is really happening. I'm sitting with Elizabeth. This is great. But that was a phenomenal show. One of my favorite memories of Kiera performing was when she competed for La Femme Magnifique in Portland, and she did this really beautiful, high energy salsa number with all my brothers, as backup dancers. And she just rocked the house. She killed it. Every time she got on stage, she killed it. Every time they called her name, the bar would flood in and everybody would be waiting for her to come dancing and twirling out. And what a legacy to leave behind, to have touched so many people's lives. That's a true testament to who she was. My advice for those aspiring to get into drag, or dabble in the dark arts as we say, enjoy it, have fun, remember why you got started in the first place, because it was fun, and above all, be yourself, be genuine. If you like weird, scary shit, do it, because there's an audience for it, trust me. I won't tell you how I know that, but I do. See, they're running out of here. And be kind. Above all, be kind. Whatever facet of the entertainment industry you aspire to be or find yourself in, it's so important to be kind, because people will remember. Let me start that over. And the last piece of advice I would give to an aspiring drag artist is to be kind. It is so important to be a kind person, because that follows you through your entire life, through your entire career, and especially going from club to club and bar to bar. At every club and bar you go to, that's a family. And from the person shoveling ice to the person owning the club, that is a family, and you should always be good to them, always be good to your fans, and most importantly, always be good to yourself. If I could see more of anything in the Colorado drag community, it would be sisterhood. I think in today's social media driven world, where a reality competition dictates a lot of what drag is and drag is not, that there has been this narrative instilled that we have to compete against each other, that we have to outdo each other. It's not a competition. We're all pulling our tights up the same way. We're all pulling well, some of us don't have to anymore, but we're all doing it the same way. And, just more love, more togetherness, more acceptance of people that are different, more acceptance of drag that is different, whether you are spooky or glamorous or transgender or non-binary or however you identify, however you express yourself. Do that, be that, and let other people do that too, and lift each other up and celebrate. Because when you lift each other up together, the further you will go.
This video is brought to you by One Colorado, one of our proud sponsors of Colorado Drag Excellence Video. One Colorado is the state's leading advocacy organization dedicated to advancing equality for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer Coloradoans and their families. They effectively advocate for LGBTQ Coloradoans and their families by lobbying the General Assembly, the executive branch, and local governments on issues like safe schools, transgender equality, relationship recognition, and LGBTQ health and human services. Thank you so very much to One Colorado for sponsoring the Colorado Drag Excellence Video.